Welcome to prime coverage of Rugby League football, the Irish national team versus the USA Patriots. Hello once again, everyone. I'm Tim Singer. Well, here we are at RFK Stadium. It is, of course, the home of the Washington Redskins. And it's funny we mention that because pro football, not just the NFL, but the professional ranks, is now expanding worldwide. You've heard of the World League of American Football all over Europe and perhaps expanding into Asia as well. Well, that's ironic because the sport of rugby, long a European stronghold, not to mention down under in Australia, is now coming to the United States. Rugby League is growing, and the American Patriots are the first ever all-star professional team in this country. The USA Patriots play a year-round schedule of dual meets, not to mention competing in the World Cup and various other invitational tournaments. Well, right now they're set to take on Ireland, USA versus Ireland. This is a rematch of a year ago, a game, a close one, won by Ireland by a 24-22 score.
Going to determine which direction they're going to go in. He's young, he's very quick, and I watched him at practice. He's very elusive.
And another big key for the Irish will be the experience of their fullback, Des Foy.
The oldest guy in the team. He's going to be really responsible for the counterattack, which was so important last year. And the Irish, they really knew how to come back down and exploit the American weaknesses on the flanks.
Now, if the American Patriots are to have a chance today, John, you have to figure that David New, their coach, their quarterback, their scrum half, will have to do everything.
Well, he is the man for all seasons for the United States. He's the guy that will definitely control the play. If David New has a good game, the United States have a chance of winning. If David who gets very emotional at times, if he starts picking at the referee, the USA play could fall off.
And power is also such a big part of the U.S. offense and defense, and that's where big Jeff Preston comes in.
Sergeant Slaughter, you won't see this guy passing the ball too often. They give him the ball early on, and he just takes it upfield, and he is a menace. The Irish really are going to concentrate on stopping him early in the game.
The Irish starting lineup for today's game, and the backs with Des Foy as the fullback, then Phelim Comerford, who will be the designated kicker at penalty situations, Gavin Baker, Tom McCabe, one of the team leaders, Robin Gregg, Craig McElhatton, and Lee Hanlon, very talented, 21 years old. Then Andrew McElwain, who lived in Australia for many years, Eric Doyle, the captain, Darren Clark, George Slicker, son of the coach Mick Slicker, Connor O'Sullivan, and Andy Burgess.
Well, the Irish have got a little bit of a young side compared to last year. Only one guy off the team from last year.
The center there is David New, the key figure for the USA, wearing number 7. He's the coach, and the scrum half, there's big Gino Seegers, who was added to the lineup today. There is the full USA lineup. Marcus Maffei is the fullback. Lauren Broussard, one of the heroes last year. Robert Balachandran, Greg Saluti, and Giddens Wallace, and the man in question, David New.
USA much older as compared to the Irish.
David Bowe, Lau Afuhamango, Gino Seegers, and the picture there, Fred Grueller, Doug Erickson, and the captain, the man they call Sergeant Slaughter, Jeff Preston.
Well, he's the emotional leader of the Patriots, and David New, definitely the quarterback, the guy. David New's got to control his emotions here today. He's so involved with the game.
The weather is improving steadily here at RFK Stadium, mostly cloudy, 43 degrees. Wind coming out of the northeast at 10 miles per hour. Chance of light rain, but thus far it is holding off.
Well, the weather really, I think it's good rugby weather. Last year, 78 degrees. I think the heat favored the United States. This year, I think neither team has any advantage with the weather.
Doug Keane from Sydney, Australia is the referee. The touch judges, Ross Hicks and Sean Morgan. Today's telecast is brought to you by Corel, the leader in CD-ROM technology.
In our world, engineering and imagination know no boundaries. Introducing Corel Draw 6, the complete 32-bit graphics suite exclusively for Microsoft Windows 95. Only Corel Draw 6 delivers 5 graphics applications, 8 utilities, 25,000 clip art images and symbols, 1,000 photos, 1,000 fonts, plus over 750 3D models. Get acquainted with the leader. The time is now.
coverage of World Rugby League from RFK Stadium. Ireland and the USA, and it will be the Americans to get us underway. The opening kickoff to be taken by captain and coach David New. Forcing it into the in-goal area of the Irish, and they will return it from there with fullback Des Foy. First play the ball, you get 6 tackles, then you have to turn the ball over. Very often, after the 5th tackle, you'll see the team kick for possession.
And Terry Wallace already's got 2 tackles. No, he's got 3 tackles. Oh, and that's what the United States will do all game. That's what the United States does best. They tackle, they hit hard, but the Irish handle the ball probably better than the United States. They don't make as many mistakes.
Good play the ball for Ireland. Good run by Conor O'Sullivan.
Ruler on that tackle.
Ruler, the defender. There's Eric Doyle, the captain and hooker of the Ireland team.
Now the secret to the United States, just keep the Irish pinned down here inside the 50. 5th tackle coming up. You're going to see a kick here.
There's the tactical kick for position, and it's fielded. Nice play by the USA to get it back quickly and gain some meters down on the left.
Yeah, Marcus Maffei, he wasn't around last year at fullback for the U.S. Great counterattacker. Here's Terry Wallace.
Wallace getting the feed from David New, so play the ball for the USA.
The U.S. got a lot more experience than they had last year. This David Bowe, living in Clearwater, Florida now, probably one of the most experienced Patriots on the field. Here comes Gruler.
Gruler has so much power, very tough customer for opposing defenses to handle.
And there's a penalty. Yeah, the Irish went back 10. The United States 35 yards up. Be interesting to see if New goes for the points or not, or he's making a decision. He's going to go for points.
So penalty opportunity for the USA. And this is a very awkward position, you would have to say, for a right-footed kicker from the right side.
Well, David New, been playing for the United States for 3 years, started his professional career at St. George in Sydney. Originally was a great rugby union player before he switched to league. Great kicker. You know, the guy can do it all. And beyond being the emotional leader, he's the coach of the team. He's the kicker. I think he's got a lot of pressure on him.
David New, 30 years old. Trying to get the USA on the board here at RFK Stadium.
It looks a little wide.
Couldn't quite get there and fielded immediately by Des Foy, 32-year-old fullback, plays for Killarney in Ireland.
That's Ryan McGough. Good tackle both times.
Tough play by the USA. The Irish driving from deep inside their own territory.
There's David Bowe, another good tackle. Penalty, though. Looks like a little elbow. David's got a lot of... Watch himself, though. If there was a penalty thing where you fouled out, David Bowe probably would fall out of every game. He's a very physical player. That's the first penalty we've seen against David Bowe.
Let's see if the Irish will try to kick this out on the full. You can do that at penalty situations, then get the ball back in line with where it goes out. But it doesn't go out of play.
Lauren Brassard staying bounds. Yes, he does. So bad play by the Irish to get that ball to touch. That's a very basic play, and I'm surprised by that mistake. Ooh, there's a high tackle.
USA fired up early.
And I think he called the high tackle, too. That's Greg Stelluti. And there's another penalty on the Irish. I think David New's probably not going to try this one. You know, the other kicker of the team is David Bowe. David Bowe's got a lot longer foot than David New. New's just going to take the ball to touch here, and the U.S. will get a fresh 6 starting around the 20-yard line. Like last year, the U.S. had a lot of possession early on in the Irish end, couldn't convert the points. A lot of similarity to the game today.
Ross Hicks, the far side touch judge, originally from the Brisbane area of Australia, now living here in the USA. So the quick tap for the Americans. Fred Gruler.
Big Fred.
Fred was very effective against Ireland last year. David New gets the feed.
Gino Seegers.
Seegers number 10. Good position here for the USA. Scoreless early in this one from RFK. New.
Jeff Preston.
Sergeant Slaughter very close now to the Irish line. The pressure is on the Irish defenders. Slaughter with the play the ball. And it's intercepted. And oh, this could be dangerous.
On the distance. Look at Lauren Brassard come from behind. Look at that. Woo! That's why he's active.
Tackle happened the man who went down, and Brassard with a crunching tackle.
Penalty on Bob Balachandran coming in late. So Marcus Maffei with a bad pass on the 5-yard line. And Balachandran, great hustle from the back. We talked about his speed in the early part of the telecast, and watch it here. Maffei with a lazy pass. This is like telegraphing it. But watch the speed. Look at Lauren. You can't even see him in your picture.
Right.
Lauren Brassard comes out of nowhere. This is Erickson, but watch this guy come out of nowhere to chase him down from behind. USA definitely has better team speed in the field. They just showed it right there.
Greg McElhatton, the man who led the Irish breakaway. And Phelim Comerford is the man who will be entrusted with penalty kicks. Number 2 for Ireland, plays for the Dublin Blues, a very famous rugby league team in Ireland. They really started things off as far as the sport is concerned.
Yeah, it's ironic. Last year, Duke Irico picked one of those passes off on the opposite side of the field and went 95 yards for the U.S. And here we go. The Irish paid back the U.S., but thank God for Lauren Broussard. U.S. got great speed on the outside, and Lauren Broussard, Kevin Giddings, Prince Hill. I think overall team speed, you have to go to the U.S.
Phelim Comerford is the man who will try this penalty from the left for the Irish.
I was watching him in practice. He can hit from 50 yards out. He has got a strong leg.
This is about 30 meters from the left as he tries to curve it back. And he got it.
Well, there's a USA down inside the Irish zone. Couldn't take advantage. Missed their first penalty kick off the 5-meter line. They got the ball intercepted. Again, like last year, the United States not taking advantage of being down in the zone. Here they're down 2-zip. They should be up at least 2-zip.
Phelim Comerford with the perfect kick. He got it just right. Bobbled a little on the way, John.
I don't think he hit it that good. I think he's very lucky to get away with that, but 2 points is 2 points.
And now under the new rules, the team that scores kicks off.
Yeah, that's changed from the past.
Lee Hanlon driving it straight down the throat of Terry Wallace for the USA.
This is Maffei. Oh, that's a really high tackle. He let it go. Marcus Maffei is a warrior. He's number 1 at fullback. You'll see a lot of him. This is Balachandran.
Balachandran had some problems with his contact lenses during last year's game. David knew the pass almost forward.
That's a good play by McGough.
So the USA, after dominating the opening couple of minutes, find themselves down 2-0.
Preston, you won't see any passes when he gets the ball, I tell you that.
It's all sheer muscle and power when Jeff Preston's at the controls. Now New.
McGough again. McGough really looks aggressive out there today. He had a very good competition down at the Sydney 9 or Sydney 7s. New will try and set this one up with a high up and under.
It's the Gary Owen. And it bounces almost down on the USA side, but it's recovered by Gavin Baker for Ireland.
I think Gavin's going to get eaten up here by Preston and Grueller, but the Irish got a fresh 6.
Play the ball for Ireland.
Missed tackle. Can't do that. There's another one. He can't get him off his feet. Look at that. 2 missed tackles.
O'Sullivan working effectively out of the left. Play the ball taken by McCabe.
Yeah, he let that go. Very smart play.
No danger of knocking it forward by Ireland.
Good tackle by Stelluti. Oh, there's a break though.
Gavin Baker has good speed. Look at Baker go.
Missed tackle by New.
Baker trying to get past Maffei. He's still going. What a run by Gavin Baker for Ireland.
Yeah, he got Balachandran got beat. That's what set that play up.
This could be dangerous. Foy, the fullback, goes in. And Des Foy with the first try of the game for Ireland.
On the overlap. I started back with a mistake there. Midfield, Balachandran got sucked in. That allowed Baker to come in, and New missed the tackle, and then the next thing you know, he had 25 meters. So again, you can't miss tackles in this game. Watch this.
Des Foy got into a good position on the right, and it was the old overlap move that fooled the USA.
Well, that's what you want, overlaps. There it is, 3-on-1 on the outside, and nobody can stop that. Superman had problems with stopping that play.
And important for Foy to move it as close as possible to the posts to help the kick. You take the conversion attempt in line with where the ball was touched down inside the in-goal area.
Kicks were really the difference in last year's game, conversions and penalties. The USA missed 2 more than the Irish. 24-22, needless to say, that game was extremely close, and the kicks were really decided the final outcome.
Well, Phelim Comerford already good with his first attempt from the opposite side. That was a penalty. This conversion attempt from the right, usually much kicker for a right footer from this side. Phelim Comerford for Ireland. He does it again. 8-0 in favor of the Irish, and Phelim Comerford helping his team once more. We'll return to RFK in a moment.
Back here in Washington, D.C., it's an 8-0 Ireland lead over the USA, and already early in the first half here, we've seen all of the variations of scoring in rugby: the penalty kick, the try, and the conversion. Interesting terminology. You know, of course, of American football and the touchdown. That's a misnomer because they don't have to touch the ball down on the ground. In rugby, however, as you've seen, they do have to touch it down. So why is it called a try? Well, in the olden days of the sport, that didn't count for any points. All that gave the team was the effort to try for the conversion. But now they figure it takes so much effort to get it into the end zone, they may as well get some points, 4 points to be exact, for the try. Let's go back upstairs.
All right, Sam, and we will try to show you how the Irish scored the one try so far.
Yeah, quickly playing the ball, seeing the overlap on the outside. Look at the three here. Now watch it. How many guys you see on the outside there? You see one blue shirt out here. 3-on-1. That'll score every day of the week.
Clark working with Des, getting in the corner for experience back off Killarney, 32 years old. 8-0, the Irish restart the game. A deep kick toward the USA in goal area.
Here comes Preston. Now watch this action.
Blistering play by Preston, wrestled down. Gavin Baker in there along with Darren Clark.
45, Kevin Geddes been fighting the flu. I had to spend yesterday in bed. They've been pumping a lot of fluids in him. He's the speedster from this Washington, D.C. area.
The only walking wounded member of the U.S. team, now Afuhamango, has been carrying an injury, but he is in the starting lineup as well.
At least USA is taking better care of the ball. They're getting to the 4th, 5th tackle, which is one of our keys to the game here today. There's a little nice pass. Doug Erickson.
Erickson gets it toward midfield. Getting tackled by the Irish.
Not cleaner possession of the ball for the U.S. This is a positional kick for the bad bounce. Here comes Maffei. Oh, slip. Another mistake. Look at that Irish ball carrier. It's 30 yards. Look at that mistake right there.
Robin Gregg was the man with possession of the ball. The quick play the ball to the captain, Eric Doyle.
Oh, there's Ryan McGuff. He has just been very physical on this pitch today.
He's fired up as Ryan McGuff, as is Grueller, as is Preston.
Overlap here. The Irish got an overlap again.
Do that so well. Gavin Baker. Look at the speed of Baker again.
Out of bounds. Nice play by Marcus Maffei. I can't believe with the United States and all this speed on the outside, they're getting beat. The Irish must have decided that they're better off beating the USA on the outside than up the middle. And Ryan McGuff is probably the guy forcing them to the outside.
Unlike in football, if you get knocked with possession of the ball out of bounds, it's not necessarily to your advantage. The ball goes to the other team in the form of a scrum. They get to put it at the scrum.
He had a lot of money.
The USA, the last 2 times they've had the ball, they've used all 6 downs, which that's what their problem was last year.
Jeff Preston confronted by Baker. Baker wrestles him down. But not before Preston's able to eke out a couple of meters.
There's Chandler's in good possession.
Chandra taken down by Doyle. Now David New. Pushing and shoving going on as New continues.
Penalty there, not playing the man with the ball, so the U.S. gets compressed 6. New will put this to touch. Turn the look from David Bowe.
Referee Doug Keane was right on the spot, John Morgan.
Yeah, you must play the ball. Watch what happens here. This collision is between 2 people that look at that right there. Maybe they had a little words previous to that, and the referee decided that that shouldn't happen.
New kicks it out on the full, so the USA, the American Patriots, will get the ball back. And Long Hurd went out of play.
David loves this action. He's from New Zealand, now living in Clearwater, Florida. Him and his wife, Debbie.
Cassidy now working with Fred Grueller.
U.S. really taking good control of the ball. They just couldn't push it in. That is the 3rd time they've been down inside the 20-yard line. They, of course, missed that first early penalty. 4th tackle.
David New, as ever, at the heart of things for the USA. Now can they get an overlap on themselves? Preston. Nice play by Jeff Preston on the left.
They're going to do something here quick coming towards that last tackle.
Marcus Maffei into the middle. Little switch move by Terry Wallace.
Last tackle here. Either a drop kick, kick into the zone, try and hold him in there.
David New tries to hit it high into the air, into the in-goal area.
That means the United States is going to get a fresh 6. That's a great play by David New. So now the Irish are going to have to kick the ball. What's they called there? The ball was directly in on the fly, so the Irish
David New, the player coach, halfback.
Yeah, there's a bad break by the Irish. I think they misplayed the ball here, which is going to give David New a kick directly in
set, John. Straight in line with the posts. USA badly need to make a statement. Trailing 8-0.
Who doesn't have an explosive foot? He's got pretty accurate foot. This should be in his range. I think they're pretty stunned that the Irish scored so easily as they have.
So David knew this would normally be meat and drink to a player of his caliber, but the pressure was on. It's International Rugby League. And David knew fails.
Opportunity missed.
Everything going wrong for the USA in the early stages. The Irish lead at 8-0. Return to RFK Stadium in a moment here on Prague. Welcome back to RFK Stadium. The USA, a lot of work to do here. They've had to weather a lot of early Irish storms.
Well, they've had good possession. There's a mistake.
Gavin Baker fields it for the Irish.
Turnover. Doug Erickson didn't gather that ball in. I don't know, try to cut back. So there's the USA's first mistake, really, in turning the ball over.
Darren Clark, tough customer, played in last year's game. In fact, the only survivor from Ireland from last year.
Number 11. Nice play. George Slicker, a great play there.
The Irish continue to work up the middle. Hamlin with a quick pass. Good play by Baker again on the right. Gavin Baker supported by number 5, Robin Gregg.
That's a good tackle by Kevin Giddings. Good switch back with on defense there, because there was a 3-on-2 overlap. Oh, there's a nice play there. That's Lauren Broussard outside. Stop that. The Irish had a free man on the outside.
Yeah,
last tackle.
Comerford was waiting, and there's the high kick by the Irish toward the USA and goal area. It's mishandled, and Baker tries to drive it over the line.
Doug Erickson was standing right there. It was Erickson or Preston. Looks like it was Preston, and allowed that ball to dangerously go into the end zone. The U.S. is going to have to kick this out of the end zone. It's going to be a fresh 6.
Just to remind you about the scoring system for Rugby League, you get 4 for a try, 2 for a conversion and a penalty, 1 for a drop goal. We've not seen a drop goal attempt thus far.
And here comes New coming out of his own end zone.
David New kicks it from the posts, and it takes a favorable Irish bounce.
Yeah, nobody from the United States came forward on that. They got a good bounce in the ball, and let the Irish pick it up, play it freely.
Andy Burgess, quick pass now to George Slicker.
Look at that. And you're going to see a lot of Americans can really tackle and go, but the problem is that when they gang up like that, the Irish look for the overlap on the outside.
Nice play from the Irish backs again. Lee Hamlin, the scrum half, very talented, 21 years old, plays for Wakefield Trinity in England, one of the top professional rugby league teams in that country.
And another overlap out here again.
And Baker's there. Gavin Baker with explosive speed. Can he get over the line? Did he lose possession of the ball?
He didn't have the ball down. They say he knocked the ball forward in goal.
And that was another close shave. Gavin Baker did everything except score.
Yeah, well, the thing is, you got to touch the ball down here. And the referee said the ball wasn't touched down with proper pressure. They say he lost the ball on the way down. Let's see here on the replay. Looks like our camera will have it. Again, the overlap on the outside. Let's see if he touches the ball down here. Are the Irish lucky today? That camera angle didn't show it, but the referee, both of them were right there, and they said there was not downward pressure on the ball.
Gavin Baker makes his home in Bangor. Has been very impressive up to this point. But the USA are really struggling to get the ball out of their own territory.
Yeah, another mistake. Bob Balachandrich, who's taken the ball, gone down. He's trying to make a last-moment pass, unsuspecting to Keith Cassidy. He knocked the ball forward. The Irish got the ball on the 10 for the U.S.
Lee Hamlin with the dummy move. Long pass. Accurate one to Baker.
There's a try. Oh, now he dropped it.
Mishandle and surely a knock forward.
Another overlap. The United States is dodging bullets out here left and right. They're lucky they don't have 2 more tries down them. So, the U.S. On the outside, they really have to control the play on the flank right now, because the Irish are really beating them on the outside.
You see that time Baker with the pass. Tom McCabe receiving it, but couldn't catch it first time.
Yeah, very fortunate situation for the U.S. Now, they got to control the ball here. Last time they just gave it away in a knock forward by Keith Cassidy. They got to get 6 here and let.
New and McGuff working with each other.
High tackle. Another penalty.
Referee Doug Keane coming to the USA's aid. They trail it 8-0 in this Rugby League International, coming to you from RFK Stadium. So David New, the captain and coach of the USA, again tries to find touch.
Oh, you don't know if you're going to get it to the touch. He's very
He
fortunate.
was fortunate, yeah.
That was a duck coming out here, and the Irish would have been a little closer to that ball. They could have saved that.
So 6 more tackles for the USA. Let's see if they can take advantage.
Look at Bowe.
David Bowe, the 30-year-old prop forward, comes out to Keith Cassidy.
Gruler. Good pickup by Gruler. That ball almost slipped out.
Ruler, Bowe, Preston, so many powerful, muscle-oriented players on the U.S. team. But here's New. He's the finesse of the team. And look at New go.
Yeah, that's David New. He's just David New at his best right there. Just Cassidy trying to get something on the outside. This is Preston.
Doug Erickson on the far side. The USA in a good position here, and they badly need the points.
They've been down here a couple times. This is New looking for action. There's nobody supporting him right here.
David New needs the support. Fred Gruler shows the power again. Gets within 10 meters of the Irish goal line.
Last tackle. Gruler's hurt, getting up too slow. Played the ball too slow. The Irish set up their defense. Let's see what New does here. A little pop kick through there.
David
This
New's
is
kick.
dangerous. Up, and the
Irish.
Irish, they grab it, so it's going to be a kick by the Irish from their own goal line. So again, the importance of David New. We got a player down. I think that's Gruler.
USA doesn't want to lose Fred Gruler at this juncture. Valuable part of their team. So Gruler tries to get back up. The USA trailing 8-0 here at RFK. Go back to RFK Stadium. The USA trailing 8-0 to Ireland. And what's more, Fred Gruler appears to be in a lot of pain. Here's what happened, John Morgan.
Yeah, I think it's a thigh bruise here. He looks like he's really complaining about his leg. Oh, here goes down on his left knee. And Big Freddie, very fit guy, laying down on the sidelines. The USA needs him back in the lineup. He is one of the big physical forces that the USA possesses.
Ireland has to drop the ball from their own posts as Gruler continues to grimace there down below us. David New fields it for the USA, working with Prince Hill.
That's Ryan McGuff.
McGuff in there as well.
Number 14 is McGuff. Here comes New. They called the penalty here. Maybe not back 10. No, bad position. Here it is.
As we saw there with the teams last met a year ago. The USA went down 24-22 to Ireland. USA controlled the tempo for much of that meeting.
There's Allen on the restart. Another turnover by the U.S. in the Irish zone.
Play the ball for Ireland. Midway inside their own half. Greg McElhatton with the quick feed. Darren Clark has a lot of power and is a very determined character.
He's going to have his hands full with the power of the U.S. The Irish are on the outside, really creating overlaps and beating the U.S. They've really done very well with creating the 2- and 3-on-1 overlaps on the outside. The USA is lucky they're down by 20 points.
Keenahan, number 17, working with Andrew McElwain. Plays in France. The Super League team is Paris Saint-Germain.
Another overlap out here if they get it out. David Bowe.
Shake tackle.
Called it. He's okay. Called it below the shoulders. David Bowe, I told you, he does that.
Des Foy was the victim, but he's back with us anyway.
Kevin Giddings, man with a lot of speed if he gets some room. Let's go down.
Giddings still with possession. Gavin Baker wrestles him to the ground. And it will be a U.S. play the ball. David New.
Wallace to Balachandra. They haven't had the ball outside too often.
Again with Terry Wallace.
Good effort by Wallace. Dragged him out of bounds. The referee allowed that. That's a penalty. There it is. The referee comes over and said, you cannot drag him out of bounds. He has to go out of bounds on his own power. David Bowe has been known to get penalized a few times in the game for some big hits. This one was legal. David, sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. That time, you won that battle.
Should kick it out of play, and the USA will get the ball back. They have yet to get on the scoreboard here. David New with 1 or 2 problems on his hands.
Well, 2 missed penalties. One of them was right in front of the post. This is Gino Seegers.
Seegers wearing number 10.
Preston.
Preston takes it into Irish territory. Play the ball for the USA. These teams competed in the Emerging Nations World Cup in England last year. The Irish faring a little better than the USA. As David New plays the quick pass. Here's Broussard. place away on the lap, but play has been called back by referee
Forward pass.
Doug King. Forward pass. Let's send it downstairs to Tim Singer. Tim?
Well, guys, the situation with Fred Brewer, who's right behind me, got injured a couple of minutes ago. He got kneed in the back when he was going down on that tackle. Certainly a painful situation. He got over here. They administered it to him very quickly. He's okay. In fact, very eager to get back into that game. Now, as we watch some of the action, I should also note that the mood down here in the American Patriots sideline is a little bit of frustration. They're both frustrated at getting so close to scoring without doing so, and at some of the turnovers that have led to the Irish scores. That's a situation down here.
All right, Tim, thank you very much. Back with the Irish going forward. A drive by Tom McKay, wearing number 4. This for the Dublin Blues. Martin Keenahan. A sidestep.
Terry Wallace got about 9 tackles already in the game. Fiery little red-headed player. And probably one of the best surprises for the United States at the World Cup last October. Another overlap out here. They didn't go for it.
Slicker is the man in possession. Play the ball for Ireland. Behind him is Keenahan.
Good lad, that's good.
There's a big overlap here on the outside.
These long passes to the
There it
Irish.
is.
The feed goes toward Comerford. Comerford, who has been spot on with the boots.
Last tackle. Probably see this ball go into the end zone. A high kick, a little pop. It's dangerous. Marcus Maffei, nice handling.
Diving toward his left.
Penalty.
So favors the USA. And still frustration for the American Patriots here. They're trailing by 8 points against Ireland. Derek Ray, John Morgan welcoming you back to RFK Stadium. Ireland on top 8-0 in this Rugby League International. And the American Patriots desperate to pose some problems for Ireland. They've been up against it for the last few minutes after making a promising start.
Yeah, there's Chris Troop, number 17, making his first ever Rugby League play. The guy, the United States discovered him. He's out of Montana. He's a logger, and boy, they were impressed with him in practice. The guy is 6'3", 225, glides around the field, so watch him, number 17.
David New's pass.
Great pass.
That's played by the USA. Follow-up work.
They're doing really good inside the 20s. They just can't score. They really possess the ball very well.
David New looking for Broussard, and he has explosive speed. Still Broussard pumping down to the 20-meter line of Ireland.
High tackle there. The referee noticed it, warned the player, didn't call it.
David New working with Wallace. Now support from Palachandran on the right.
Oh, nice play there.
Driving play by the USA, getting closer and closer to the Irish line.
Last tackle, they got to be creative here. David New, what's he going to do? An attack into the end zone. Oh, it's blocked by the Irish. And he kicked it out of bounds, so I think this might be the U.S. advantage here. What's he called? Knocked forward.
Touch of soccer from Comerford on the far side.
So I think the USA is going to get the fresh 6 here off the scrum. It's going to be the USA feed. So again, you see how New sets everything up, puts the pressure on the Irish defense. Really a dominating player, and if he goes down, the USA's got a lot of problems. The USA going to get the 6, fresh 6 again inside the 20. They've got to score here to have a chance in this game.
They miss out. Preston, instead they use Broussard. Nice twist and turn by Broussard, driving toward the line. Can he get there? The Irish try to pit back the Americans. Wallace gets the ball. Can he get over?
Well, didn't give them the try. They said they held them up.
The Irish defense holding.
Well, I think Terry Wallace was a little impatient there. They had 6 tackles, 4 more tackles to go. Tried to take it himself, and again, another mistake by the United States here. You know, again, they've been knocking on the door constantly, and they just can't turn it.
Mental mistakes costing the USA dear, but here's Wallace again, trying to make amends, the push. And this time, they look for the try.
Out of bounds.
Keen right on the spot says out of bounds.
So another time they've been in the end zone. Wallace again couldn't touch it down. USA just can't convert.
Goodness, this has got to be frustrating for the American Patriots.
And your Irish starts to 6, so they had a fresh 6 twice down there. They just couldn't convert. So the USA just can't take advantage of the opportunities.
Kevin Baker, very impressive-looking player.
Look at that, Geno Seegers with that one-handed tackle. He led the nation in tackling in Western Carolina in 1987. And he is a force out here when he's fit enough. Geno's got a not fit all the time, and he really can't keep up with his fast, quick pace of rugby league.
Ireland leads at 8-0. And there's the tactical kick by Hanlon, driving it deep into U.S. territory, and again it takes an Ireland bounce.
Mafai's pretty good counterattacker, but breaks one tackle. He's a warrior. I tell you, he was probably the most physical person the United States had in the 3 World Cup games in October last year. There's a turnover.
Not a bad mistake. Chris Troop unable to field it, and now the Irish are dangerous from this position. It's Baker. Gavin Baker likes to pump up on that right channel.
Well, see what the Irish can do. The United States couldn't do it when they're down close inside the 5-10 yard line. The Irish looks like they're knocking on the door here. They've got a lot better ball handling skills here. This is their advantage.
Slicker to Keenahan.
Overlap.
Can they knock it in here? They're just about 5 meters short.
Good tackle there.
Alan Robinson on the overlap. Back to Keenahan. Now Lee Hanlon. Hanlon moving to his right. Good support from Baker. Can they drive it in?
Oh, look at that tackle right there. Number 16, Troop over the top. That was set up by Giddings.
Keenahan again. Lee Hanlon. Looking for support from George Slicker.
Last tackle should be coming up. No.
The Irish trying to make it count.
They're yelling help on the outside.
Driving play up the middle by Mick Finley, bludgeoning his way toward the 5-meter line.
So the USA forces the turnover on downs. You got to give them a hand there. That was some great defense. 6 tackles.
So the USA with the play the ball. The Irish choosing not to kick. Thought they could power it over the line, but not so.
Squandered a lot of opportunities in the United States. That's true. He's got to learn to go forward. They just threw him back there.
8-0. The Irish on top.
There's another infraction. So it's going to be the U.S. putting Troop turned the ball over again. He's had 2 opportunities now in the last 2 minutes. He's turned it over twice.
Just over 10 minutes remaining in the first half.
The turnover.
The Irish get the ball from the scrub. Andy Burgess. And he is brought down by 2 American defenders. Burgess with a quick play the ball. Hanlon now, support from Finley. And Finley is the power monger of the Irish team.
Spin this ball out. Well, they like to go inside with it. Boy, they're threatening.
Close to the line again. Tom McCabe with good driving play. Out it comes to McElhatton. Hanlon. Using Mick Brown. The Irish being pinned back here. The American defense getting the job done.
They got to spread it wide. Look at the out. Look at this now. They get it out here. They collect to go back in. Boy, they're on the wings is where they've been real successful.
Final tackle. Let's see what the Irish will do here. Hanlon.
Oh, big overlap. That's forward. Nope. There's a forward pass. Yeah. So the United States dodges another one.
Yeah. Connor O'Sullivan went into the in-goal area, but the pass was forward. Spotted by referee Doug Keane.
Well, since that early going where the Irish scored those points in the first 10 minutes, it's been a very even game, and both teams have squandered many opportunities inside the 15 or 20-yard line. In fact, I think the defense has been very well from both teams.
Now Chandran pumping up the middle, getting over his own 20-meter line.
There's a penalty.
And the referee comes again to the rescue of the U.S.
The Irish. He will take this and try and find some touch. Remember the last time from this part of the field, he had a little duck that came over here that just barely got out of bounds.
Keep in mind, David New has missed 2 penalty attempts already, uncharacteristically.
See, it doesn't matter how far you get it up the field. The secret is just getting the ball to touch.
Getting it out on the full, and you get 6 more. Quick tap.
Oh.
A very important part of the U.S. team did not play last year.
Brewer's back.
The USA will be happy at that.
Reverse over here. U.S. got a little action going. See what new. Now they can get it back outside. They got a little overlap way out.
Laurent Broussard changes out to the right.
I think that's the key right there. Laurent Broussard, if he gets free, will definitely score. I don't think there's anybody in the team on Ireland that can stop him. The question is, they got to set him up. There's New. He's away. No support.
David New can't do it all on his own.
Cassidy.
Now the fullback, Maffei. Good support here by Preston. A quick pass out to the left. Can they get in there?
There it is. John Harrison. Wow. David New set the play up. Preston Wallace and 5-6 guys to handle the ball there. You got to give the United States credit. They've hung in there. They were frustrated for a long period of time. Persistence paid off for them there.
Doug Erickson, the man who dived in after good setup play by David New.
Watch the play here. Cassidy looking for Maffei. Maffei cutting back. Watch this pass here off the, look at that. Here comes Preston. He knows what's happening. Preston lays it out. Doug Erickson comes in, puts the ball down.
Doug Erickson, the second row forward from Buchanan, New York.
This is an impossible angle to kick from, and it's a long angle, and they go to their long kicker, David Bowe. You don't see too many front row forwards with kicking abilities. Down in Fiji, they say he was deadly. He had a great tournament down there, the Fiji Nines, the World Invitational Fiji Nines, which was about a month ago. And this is the United States. So I don't know if Bowe will take the rest of the kicks or not, but New missing the first two early ones.
So let's see what David Bowe can do. New clearly unhappy at his own kicking performance.
He doesn't have the long foot like Bowe. Bowe's got, got the long range, heavy impact. He hits the ball takes off with a lot of velocity. New takes the ball, he doesn't have as much speed on it.
David Bowe for the USA, well to the left.
The United States leads to the border.
The USA cutting Ireland's lead in half. 8-4 is our score here in Washington, D.C. We'll be back in a moment.
Back here at RFK Stadium, the Americans have cut into the Ireland lead, 8-4 the score with about 5 minutes remaining in the first half. I'm joined by American Patriot Gino Seegers. It looked very frustrating at first. How important was that score?
It gives us, it uplifts us probably going into the halftime. We got about 5 minutes left in the half, and hopefully we can keep on accelerating to getting another try and, making the score even closer.
Okay, well, we'll see you back out there. And back up to you guys.
Thank you, Tim Singer. The American Patriots, after a spluttering start, finally back in contention here. And John Morgan, they really have to try to pile on the pressure and eat further into this Irish lead in the diminishing moments of this first half.
Well, the Irish had tremendous opportunity to score 2 different times early in about mid part of the second half. They didn't. Knocked the ball on once, had a try sort of called back in the end zone by a referee call. But then the United States has really played some great defense down in their own end zone, and they've stopped the Irish twice inside their own 15, turned around, made a score. So I think right now the only reason the United States is even in the game is because of 8-4 and because of that man.
David New, who is such an influential performer for the USA, although I wonder whether he might be a little nervous about the kicking game. It seems to have deserted him, and he turned things over to David Bowe for the most recent attempt. Could be a factor as this game gets older.
Well, last year the game was pretty close right towards halftime, and then the Irish scored on the bell, and they went into the locker room with an 8-point lead. And let's see if the U.S. can stop them here in the waning moments of this first half. There's a turnover, so let's see what the U.S. can do with it. Balachandra picks it up. He's got a little roll. Nice spin move.
Well, Balachandra still going for the USA. The Irish try to wrestle him down. And good position here for the American Patriots. David New.
There's a penalty. This was a penalty here, so I think the U.S. probably go for post here. Holding the man down. You can't hold him down. They want to try and speed up the play. And there's David New giving the post to David Bowe. So again, so you can't hold the man down here. Now watch Balachandra here. Good spin move. Watch the instinct. Fakes the pass outside, spins back inside, and just still can't knock him off his feet. Got great leg strength. Professionally, he's a lawyer. Works in the governor's office in New York State, and this is where they're holding him down too long there, so he couldn't get up and play the ball.
Greg McElhatton was the Irish defender in question. So David Bowe here, who had the awkward kick just moments ago, now has a much more straightforward attempt. And this would be big from the USA's confidence point of view. David Bowe. They started with New as the designated kicker, but now they have turned to the man who spent much of his life in New Zealand. And Bowe's chip is no good.
So the USA continues to miss opportunities, but they didn't get the ball to the end zone. See what happens here. Looks like they're going to have to kick it. The USA might get the ball right back here. He tried to chip that.
David Bowe clearly unhappy with himself, and I wonder, John Morgan, if that really is going to be the area that the Americans are going to have to focus on at halftime, because New certainly unsettled from a kicking standpoint, and now Bowe missing that gift.
Well, I'm surprised, too, because Bo really had a great Fiji nines again a month ago. I'm surprised his confidence a little rocked there, because that was a chip shot.
Alexandrin with the play the ball for the Americans. Now big Fred Grueller. They missed him for a few minutes around the midway point of the half. Grueller gets it toward the 20-meter line. Now David New. Broussard tries to get there. Ericsson's there as well.
New is really creating havoc for him. When he comes across that field, they don't know which way to go. Look at Broussard with some moves.
Bobbing and weaving play by Laurent Broussard.
This is the last tackle. New will get the ball, probably chip it into the end zone is what I think about it here.
There's the kick by New. The little grubber toward the in-goal area. Fielded by the Irish. The U.S. players appeal for the try as it was touched down.
Yeah, but again, David News caught the Irish in their own end zone. They don't have the ball. They must kick the ball back to the U.S. And needless to say, News' foot, even though he's missed those 2 easy chip shots, the U.S., they've been very good with kicking the ball in goal. Here comes Ericsson on the rebound here.
The Americans looking a lot more confident, but time is running out on this first half.
2 minutes to go. Maybe they can turn the bells here on the Irish from last year and score on the buzzer themselves.
Driving play by Maffei. Getting over the 20-meter line. The feed, Terry Wallace, now New.
That's Hoffa Mungo making his first appearance. I think they were saving him for late in the first half. He's got a real groin problem.
He's a boxer in his spare time, or at least has been in the past. Hoffa
Look at
Mungo.
David Bowe.
Good play by Bowe, linking with New. Just 7 meters short of the line.
United States starting to show confidence. Here's Ryan McGough.
Can McGough get in there? Just inches short. Doug Keane is right up with play.
Last tackle.
And the drive by Broussard appears to be short.
Yeah, got to get him up. But the United States, with a minute to go here, there's going to be a scrum down 5 meters out. 10 meters out.
Laurent Broussard really likes to bob and weave and twist and turn and pose all kinds of problems for opposing defenders. Couldn't quite get in there on that occasion. Ireland leading at 8-4, as you can see, inside the final 1 minute in this first half.
The U.S. playing with a lot of confidence right now. And there's that tackling. You know, the tackling up the middle has been ferocious. That's forced the Irish to the outside. There's a penalty. It's another penalty. Fred Grueller is pretty stupid now with less than a minute to go. You don't want anything stupid here, mistake-wise. You want to just let them keep the ball around midfield. Again, last year they scored right on the buzzer. They took a lot of air out of the bag for the United States going into that second half.
Ball kicked out on the full. The Irish will get it back just inside their own half. Keep in mind, the referee is the man who keeps control of the clock.
Look at that great tackle. David Bowe, Fred Grueller. Now the Irish are trying to play right into the United States here.
Andrew McElwain, very talented 23-year-old.
Big overlap here.
Good play by the Irish, oh, but it misses out. McBrown.
That's halftime.
Whistle is sounded by referee Doug Keane. First half has come and gone here at RFK Stadium, so the USA, Fred Grueller and company, coming back into things after a sluggish opening. The Irish off to an 8-0 lead, but the USA cutting that lead in half thanks to Doug Ericsson's try late in the first half. We'll return to RFK Stadium in a moment. Prime's coverage of Rugby League is being brought to you by Corel WordPerfect, the best in word processing. It is halftime here at RFK Stadium. Ireland leading the USA by 8-4. Let's send it down to Tim Singer, who's with the U.S. player coach David New.
All right, that's right, Derek. We're with David New, and it seemed like a turnaround of sorts in the last 5 minutes. You feel like you finally got the upper hand there?
We gained some momentum towards the end there, but I think the key is if you're putting that much pressure on, you've got to get the ball across the stripe. We had a couple of chances there, and I thought a couple of good, decent ones that were turned down. But we come up with some poor plays on that last couple, and I'm a bit to blame for that, so I'm going to try and rectify that next half.
You're heading into the locker room to talk to the guys. It looked like they were frustrated. Are you trying to keep the spirits up there?
Yeah, the spirits are good, real good. You know, we're in this match. We're right up to our eyeballs, no doubt about it. They got ahead 8-0. We're back 8-4. We've missed a couple of kicks at goal where we could be leading. So we're working hard. We're definitely coming out to win this.
Thanks for talking to us. I know you have some work to do. That's David New. Right back up to you guys.
Thank you, Tim Singer. And David New can afford to be reasonably happy with the way his players responded toward the end of that first half, because really they lost things in the opening few minutes after having the Irish on the rack in many ways. They allowed Ireland to come back into things and control the tempo for the opening 20 minutes.
Yeah, it was pretty surprising. The United States looked very flat early on in the game. You know, there's constantly, we saw these 3 and 4, 4-on-2, 3-on-1 overlaps on the outside, and it looked, you know, like the United States was in a lot of trouble. The Irish spotted something and were really taking advantage of it. And when it was 8-0 right here, I saw a blowout.
That was 9 minutes into the game. Des Foy, the Killarney fullback, going into the in-goal area. Nice overlap. But the USA responded with a try themselves late in the first half.
Yeah, New started it going. Keith Cassidy off to Marcus Maffei. He showed his athletic abilities. Off to Preston. Preston, good instinct just to throw it here. Look at Erickson foul the play into the end zone. Just barely touches it down. Really instrumental in the United States coming back in this game.
That made it 8-4. The other scores, a penalty and a conversion from Phelim Comerford, the Irish wing three-quarter. So plenty of rugby left in this challenge match. Let's go back down once again to Tim Singer. Tim?
Okay, thanks very much, Derek. I'm with Mark Cashin, who's the manager of the Irish team. Now, you guys took control in the early going. What happened there in the final 10 minutes?
Well, we've just let them back into the game a little bit, but we have to raise a game and try and get back in, dominate as we did in the first 20, 30 minutes.
Now, I see you're having a word with there. What's the attitude of this team?
Well, it's still very good. We know that we can still do what we have to do, and it's very positive and it's all constructive, so we're going to do okay out of this.
Okay, good luck in the second half.
Thanks very much indeed.
Thanks, Mark. That's Mark Cashin, manager of the Irish team. Derek?
Only time will tell if the luck of the Irish will hold. They certainly dominated the opening half, posing problems for the American Patriots. We'll be back with more action from RFK after these messages. Today's telecast is brought to you by Corel, the leader in CD-ROM technology. Welcome back to RFK Stadium here in Washington, D.C. World Rugby League here on Prime. Ireland leading the USA 8-4. And the Irish have been very busy since arriving a couple of days ago. Not only with athletic events, but also with community affairs. Tim Singer down on the sideline takes up the story. Tim?
Well, that's right, Derek. It's been a tour ODC for this Irish national team over the past couple of days. They've hit, of course, all of the obligatory night spots, very important in the sport of rugby, but they've also been making radio appearances and really taking in some of the sights. But this Irish team has been giving a little back as well. This was the scene yesterday at Howard University in Washington, D.C., the site of this year's Washington, D.C. annual Special Olympics. The concentration was on the basketball events, and there's a look at the Irish team, maybe learning a little bit about the sport of basketball as well, but certainly having a great time with the kids who are taking part in the Special Olympics. A lot of fun for everyone involved. Derek?
All right, Tim, thank you very much. And I think as you will vouch, John Morgan, the Irish, great bunch of guys.
Yeah, they had a great week here, and the Irish eyes should be smiling on them for what they did with those Special Olympics kids. That was just a great feat.
The Irish will get the second half underway. They lead 8-4 as the kick is taken by Lee Hanlon, the very talented scrum half, right down the throat of Marcus Maffei.
And here comes Erickson. Scored the try.
With so much power, along with Preston, gets it down to the 20-meter line.
He didn't take him off his feet. There comes Marcus Maffei, fullback, who just loves the action. He just really, great counterattacker, really has to be a part of the game to get into the mood of it.
The fullback has to be a jack of all trades, and you can say the same for his Irish counterpart, Des Foy.
Gino Seegers refuses to really go down. Look at him. Look at the big guy, still on his feet, still on his feet. Who wants a piece of it?
Great run by Gino Seegers into Irish territory. They feed it back now to Wallace.
Here comes McGough, who had a great first half. I really think he's one of the most important players in the field for the United States. No turnovers. Really had about 8-9 hard tackles. Here comes Preston looking for an angle.
Again, good meters from Preston up the middle.
Last tackle, New will get this ball.
Comes to Wallace, out to New. Let's watch for the kick as New swings it high toward the in-goal area. Real test for Foy beside the posts. And Foy under pressure.
Hits the post.
Goodness, that was critical. Had he been tackled inside the in-goal area, the Irish would have had to drop it out from the posts.
He used the post very well. They used it on a couple of players. There's a high tackle. Jeff Preston. There's a little fight going on, a little fisticuffs.
You want to see that. Connor O'Sullivan with Jeff Preston, and now all the players make their way into the melee.
Yeah, well, it's interesting to see what Doug Keane does here. He's going to have to control the temper in this game. I would think he might send one of these guys to the scene. Turning both players in, he might send them off. surprised to see Jeff Preston off to the sin bin. That was a pretty high, dangerous tackle, and that's not what they want in the game.
Referee Doug Keane talks it over with Preston and O'Sullivan, and they both shook hands. All appears to have been forgiven.
I think they're very fortunate Preston wasn't sent into that sin bin or the penalty box as we know here in America. But it's another penalty for the United States. Penalty count right now.
The Irish kick it out on the full, so they'll get the ball back midway inside their own half. They lead it 8-4.
10 penalties in the U.S., 6 in the Irish. There's McGough again, going down low, giving up his body. He's had an extraordinary game for the U.S.
Eric Doyle with to play the ball to Darren Clark. Clark wearing that scrum cap. So a lot of the prop forwards opt for that kind of headgear.
If I was the Irish, every one of my forwards would have that on. There's a bad pass, a turnover by the Irish. The Irish look a little unorganized compared to that first 10 minutes when they were running on all cylinders.
So they'll pack the scrum just inside the Irish half of the field. The USA will get the feed.
Well, if the USA scores here, they really can take the momentum.
Wallace at the back. Interchanging with New. Now good play out to the left. Balachandran. There's Broussard further to the left. The fullback, the fly. Broussard is there.
The balance. Still a great effort, though. I mean, it's a great play by the U.S. They showed some good offensive attacking there. And hey, that's what they want to do. They want to get the ball in Marcus Maffei and hands on the outside where you can deliver to Lauren Broussard and Kevin Giddings like that. That was Giddings on the outside. That wasn't Broussard. Here comes, Balachandran did real good here. Smart to get it back to Marcus. Look at the guy counterattack from his fullback position. Gets it to Giddings. Giddings, little inexperienced at legs. Should have cut off that sideline, cut it back in.
So the Irish having to do a lot of defending at the start of the second half, but they lead 8-4.
There's Preston starting to do what he does best. That wasn't Preston, it was Bowe, excuse me.
Doyle with the pass to Clark.
There's McGough. One of the replacements on for Ireland, that's number 16.
Alan Robinson is number 16 for the Irish.
And there's Bowe, up high. There's Geno Seegers. He likes to throw people backwards on their shoulder blades.
McElwain gets drilled. Here's the play the ball for Ireland. Lee Hanlon.
Overlap.
Out it goes to the left.
Out of bounds.
Ball had crossed the near sideline.
Another turnover by the Irish. Very uncharacteristic. Last year, they probably didn't have 6-8 turnovers in that whole game. I bet you they're closing to that point right now.
Tells you, though, there is a lot of talent in the Irish ranks. It's a very different team. In fact, only one survivor, Darren Clark, who was a replacement last year. That has not affected their performance in an adverse sense.
Nice cutback play there. Terry Wallace really working well with New.
And it goes to New again.
Okay, there's Preston.
Preston right up the middle.
You are going to see Preston pass the ball. He just likes to go in, automatically take the contact. Here's Wallace making a little play.
Terry Wallace has been effective for the USA. They play the ball to New.
Bowe, a little flat-footed. Nice play back to David New, though. Let's see what Geno wants. Geno Seegers wants to take it himself here. He should probably try to get it out. They had a little bit of momentum on the outside.
Seegers.
There's a penalty.
Goes down.
There's another shot in front of the post for the U.S.
Needless play. Darren Clark, it looked like. And it will be a penalty for the USA. Can they make it a 2-point game here at RFK Stadium? They're trailing by 4 right now.
Create great-looking greeting cards, stationery.
So David Bowe now has a chance to make it an 8-6 game, and this is straight in front of the posts. 24, 25 meters out. The USA failing with their kicking attempts today. 2 by New, 1 by Bowe. They desperately need this one. David Bowe for the USA. And this time it's good. 2 points the difference here at RFK Stadium. David Bowe comes through.
Nice kick by David Bowe. Good for his confidence now. And he's got a strong foot. Now watch the way the ball explodes off his foot. New is a lot more accurate as a softer kick. Watch this ball come off Bowe's foot. And again, he's got some long range with that too.
The American Patriots were trailing 8-0, but now it's 8-6. The entire equation has been changed.
Well, the Irish been making mistakes. That's been why the U.S. has come back into the game. The U.S. has shown some pretty good offense themselves. It's been pretty equal with missed opportunities down inside the red zone. But here comes the Irish on the counterattack. They ran right through the U.S. like they were standing still there.
Good run by Robin Gregg as the Irish spread play among their backs again.
Doug Erickson and Ryan McGough.
Alan Robinson there for Ireland.
30-40 yards he made in 3 plays, so the Irish starting to show a little bit more offensive prowess than they had earlier.
Good try by McElwain, getting it into U.S. territory. Now Doyle.
There's Preston. Nice play, though.
As the Irish try to spread it out to the right. Hanlon, good pass out to the right side. And a strong run here, Mick Brown.
Last tackle coming up. See what the Irish do smart to pin the U.S. in their own end zone.
Watch for the kick by Hanlon, getting it into the in-goal area. Who will get there? And the question is, was it put over the dead ball line by a U.S. hand or an Irish hand?
Well, the U.S. is going to come out to the 25. They're going to have to kick it, looks like, from there.
From deep inside the run area, John.
Yeah.
As number 10, Darren Clark, was trying to pile on the pressure.
David New.
David New kicking it out on the full.
So the U.S. is going to be able to take this.
RFK Stadium here in Washington, D.C. for the 2nd year in a row playing host to this Rugby League International.
Good offense there from both teams. The United States brought it deep into the Irish zone, got 2 points out of it. The Irish brought it deep into the U.S. zone and didn't get any points, but they really pressured the U.S. Here comes Seegers.
Dino Seegers, Battleship, still pumping, still going, forcing the Irish defenders to stay with him. Now New.
Oh,
David Bowe.
Nice play.
Switch Fred Grueller in on the act as well.
The U.S. is a lot more confident the way they're distributing this ball.
David New once again in there. Preston. Nice switch out to the left. Tenacious play by the American Patriots.
Well, they're a lot more aggressive and confident to see if they spin out and get an advantage out here.
Wallace, the feet to Balachandran. Drives up the middle. 3 Irish defenders with him. Wrestled down by McElhatton.
Now the Irish have got their defense set very well. The U.S. had them on the run, backtracking there. Now they're set.
David New. Little push pass. Working with Maffei.
Fumbled the ball, though.
Picked up by Wallace.
The referee's going to let it go. He's going to give him a fresh 6, looks like. Now he's calling something.
Referee Doug Keane.
Injuries.
Right in on the play. And the trainers rush on.
Medical timeout there.
The USA players storming back into the game. They trail by 2. Another injury problem for the USA. Fullback Marcus Maffei limps off.
Yeah, he looks like he really got rocked on this counterattack on the inside, and I don't know if we're going to see Marcus back. I've been saying all along he's a warrior. Really hurts the United States. Makes a jump out of there, but here the ball slips out. Oh, and they come down on his head. So I think Marcus may have been concussed there. That really hurts the United States.
Young Lee Hanlon made the tackle for Ireland. You can see Maffei trying to figure out what day it is. They back down for the scrum. Just inside the U.S. half of the field. New comes away with it. Very seldom do you see the ball go against the head in rugby league. In other words, the team with the feed losing the scrum.
You see that? New's trying to get Lauren Broussard action. There's a bad play by Lauren Broussard playing the ball, which the U.S. doesn't really do that well all the time.
It's a half-hearted play the ball. New now working with Fred Grueller up over the middle.
Yeah,
It's like a
stamina for a big man.
big, powerful fullback in football. Now New.
Terry Wallace.
Preston and Wallace. Preston on the far side.
It was Preston, not Wallace, you're right.
Weaving run now by Kevin Giddings. Back with Preston, out to New for the USA. Little shuffle at the high, up and under. Who will catch it? Takes an awkward bounce.
Oh, somebody gets drilled there. And that's going to be a turnover to this fresh 6 for Ireland. The USA used up at least 6 more of its possessions. The game's really in a lull right now. It's really flat. Neither team really, like they're waiting around for the other team to make the mistake. Tackling's still been ferocious though, both teams.
I don't think I would venture to say we've seen more errors this year than we did last year. Perhaps
Both teams have squandered good opportunities.
Work this foot, Lee.
Oh, there's a high
Attack
tackle.
it, Lee. Don't get
Play the ball
wider.
for Ireland, just inside the U.S. half. Darren Clark linking up with George Slicker. A lot of space here for Ireland out on the left.
There's Wallace.
Terry Wallace
A little help from his friends. David New.
comes back now to Martin Keenahan. Working with Andy Burgess. Goes a power play here. Tom McCabe is away. McCabe surely must score for Ireland. He does. Tom McCabe with a breakaway try. And it's 12-6 in favor of the Irish.
That's lovely.
Very lazy defensive play by the U.S. It's like Prince Hill really didn't know which way to go. He had the sideline outside of him, and the guy ran inside of him and just let him go.
Tom McCabe, one of the team leaders, and Ireland up by 6. Derek Ray, John Morgan welcoming you back to RFK Stadium. Tom McCabe with a spectacular try for Ireland, a 6-point lead for them.
Yeah, just watch the hole that just all of a sudden appears for Tom. There's a couple of U.S. guys, 4 guys standing there, right through the gap. Try to figure out where his defensive counterpart was.
Tom McCabe, the center, makes his home in Dublin, plays for the Dublin Blues. Very positive influence on the team. We were talking with Tom yesterday, and very excited about this international. Steady influence on the team. But now Phelim Comerford will have a chance to make it an 8-point game, and that could be critical in the grand scheme of things, keeping in mind how ineffective the American kicking game has been today.
They've had more squandered opportunities in this half than the Irish did in the previous half, but that goal line stand down there with the U.S. is second and goal, more or less, on the 2-yard line. They try to jab it over 2 short runs. That really turned around and cost them. They came right back out, and that's where they got the score from there.
Phelim Comerford is 2 for 2 kicking today. Had 2 early successful attempts, the penalty and then the conversion after the Des Foy try. So Phelim Comerford from wide on the left will try to draw this back. Comerford, very composed young player. And this time he tries to hook it back, but not quite enough.
It's a good kick. There's plenty of distance. Didn't have enough draw on the ball.
He's drawing a little, but not a sufficient amount. We'll return in a moment. American Patriots play the ball bouncing out in midfield. David New now for the USA. New with a little one-handed pass and the high kick as they try to pressure the Irish. Bounces awkwardly for Des Foy, goes into his own in-goal area. A scramble for the ball, but the whistle has been sounded.
They call a penalty there or something here. What's it called? Irish player still down in the end zone. He's calling a penalty on Lauren Broussard.
Broussard going in for the USA. Des Foy was the man under the gun for Ireland.
Watch it hit the goalpost there. Just missed the goalpost there, and also they rushed to get it out, and I don't know what they called there, but the ball was free. They called a penalty for something. Maybe Lauren Broussard was offsides before the kick.
Taken out on the full by Ireland. They get it back with the play the ball. Taken by Keenahan. Power running now by McElwain.
There's good play there.
Nice play by Ireland. Good support to Conor O'Sullivan.
And Ryan McGough gets his 19th tackle.
Keenahan now with a feed out to his right. McElhatton.
Nice reversal there. Preston's got him though. No, he got away from Preston.
It's Andy Burgess now powering up the middle for Ireland. 10 meters inside U.S. territory.
And McGough with his 20th tackle.
Quick feed out now for Conor O'Sullivan. O'Sullivan with the one-handed pass. Good play now. Keenahan. They're all supporting one another effectively now. Just within inches of the 20-meter line. Back it goes to Keenahan. Hanlon gets it back. Hanlon likes to be the man of the center of things for Ireland.
Yeah,
now Des Foy. Gaining good ground.
Yeah, look how quickly the Irish play the ball. Look how quickly they set up. They got the big overlap here. They just go back inside with it.
Lee Hanlon's pass.
Picked off by Fred Grula. Doug Erickson hurt coming off the field over here.
The Irish were rapidly running out of tackles. Now a chance for the USA to go forward with the ball.
Balachandran looking for room.
Several U.S. players have been in the wars today. Now New. Working with David Bowe.
Yeah, Bowe's seen all sorts of action.
Taking Second down by Keenahan. Play the ball for the USA just over the 20-meter line.
There's a high tackle. Another penalty.
Doug Keene right on the spot again. Ryan McGuff in the thick of things for the USA, and yet another injury. That has been one of the features of this game. The USA down by 6 points.
It seems to be attended to. It's obviously, as you can see, in the knee area, always a sensitive area, and another always exposed area in the sport of rugby. If he's anything like all of the other players we've seen, he'll be eager to get back into this game shortly. However, it's just an example of how tough and physical the sport of rugby can be.
Tim Singer with the update from the sideline of the American players now in good shape. The fly away for the USA. And oh, he's just taken down inches from the line. Can the USA players keep going?
They held them up again. This is where the U.S. becomes very impatient. They try and take it in. Cassidy should get the ball out here, not do it himself.
Keith Cassidy to David New. Swivel by New. Oh, it's fumbled by Afumago.
They call them offsides. Offsides on Ireland, the United States. Maybe they should think about the points here, but they got fresh 6.
And they're going for it. It's New. The quick pass out to Bowe. Can he use his power?
Get up and play the ball quick. They'll have a chance. If not, the Irish defense will set. There's New.
David New goes in.
Try.
Surely a try for the USA. It is.
And he's going to be a chance to convert and tie the game.
Well, fitting that it's David New who knocks it over the line for the USA. The captain, the coach, the scrum half, the jack of all trades.
Well, he sees this play here. He knows what's going on. I mean, he's been through many wars like this. No substitute for experience. I mean, here's the quick play of the ball by Bowe, though. That's what set that thing up. Bowe got up, played that ball quick, moved, and what to do with it. And it's interesting to see New not take the kick. It's going to be Bowe. This is where Bowe missed from before.
All the pressure is on David Bowe. The ball game is tied at RFK Stadium. Ireland 12, the USA 12. And our coverage will continue after these messages.
All tied up at 12 here in Washington, D.C. The USA versus Ireland. This is a game that has seen a lot of variety, and that certainly suggests just what rugby players are about. Taking a look at our roster, the Irish team, they're all from all over Ireland. In fact, one player, don't tell anyone, is from Northern Ireland, which last I heard was actually part of England. As for the Americans, sea to shining sea. Players from Washington, D.C., all the way out to California. You've got lawyers, loggers, teachers, a lot of variety in rugby.
All right, Tim Singer, Derek Ray, John Morgan back with you. All even, as Tim said, at 12. This game very reminiscent of what we saw 12 months ago when the Irish snatched it late on by a score of 24-22. Ireland has never trailed in this game.
Balachandran doing some yeoman work down there. Or no, excuse me, that's Prince Hill. A couple good tackles. Oh, there's no. He's very lucky to get a penalty there, throwing that forward. Look at David New. I mean, the guy can't get enough.
Eric Doyle at the controls now for Ireland, working with Connor O'Sullivan. He's had some impressive runs.
Yeah, Fred Gruller with tackle number 18.
Now Doyle switching it back to Craig McElhatton. The long kick bounces awkwardly from Maffei, who's back with us after that injury.
He's a pretty good counterattack player, though.
Marcus Maffei dodging his way down to a position midway inside the U.S. half of the field. Wallace gains a couple of meters. Eric Doyle in on the tackle for Ireland. Doyle, the captain.
Gruller.
The unmistakable figure of Gruller loses the ball, and the Irish have it. Can they take advantage of this? Doyle.
Gruller goes in there awful high, and sometimes that exposes the ball for a head to come in there, and that's what happened. That's what split that ball from Fred. There's David Newark going up high again. I think he's very fortunate. Doug Keene, the referee's been very, very lenient from both sides.
Doyle with the pass out to Hanlon. Now Darren Clark. Good power running shown by Clark. Wallace is there.
USA seems very suspect on their defense on the outside.
Connor O'Sullivan now on the right. The Irish building momentum. They're on the 20-meter line of the USA.
Look how quickly they play the ball.
Lee Hanlon. Nice interchange with McElhatton, and then they lose it. And David New is there to mop it up for the USA.
So he just sets the ball. He knows he's got a fresh 6. He might be hurt. He might be hurt.
That would be bad news for the Patriots.
That would be disaster. There's nobody else in the field can control play for the U.S. like that.
USA with the ball midway inside their own half. Just over 10 minutes remaining in this one. All even at 12.
Notice Terry Wallace, number 6 for the U.S., also getting up pretty slow. So now we're starting to see people hurting late in this game. Couple heavyweights in the last 2 rounds. And it's tied up. It's all even on the cards.
Along the line. Bring it together.
New with the pass. Off of Hamango.
That's Balachandra.
Chandra to think of the action there, just inside the Irish half of the field.
Last tackle. This will go to New to see what he's going to do with it this time.
New's kick, and he tries to find touch. It takes a perfect bounce.
Fresh 6 for the Irish, starting from inside your 20, so the U.S.
Ball out of bounds, all even at 12 here at RFK Stadium. They peck the scrum deep inside the Irish half of the field. Ireland 12, the USA 12.
I think the Irish smart get the ball outside. They got a lot of success on the outside of the field against the U.S.
Play the ball for Ireland. Lee Hanlon's in there. Working with McElhatton. Then down goes Tom McCabe, who scored the second Irish try today, the first by fullback Des Foy.
Jeff Preston, high in the double digits, 16 tackles for Preston. There's his counterpart, Grueller, up near 20.
Connor O'Sullivan going down. The Irish working their way down the left. 14 is McFinley, adjusting it out with Grueller, who makes the tackle.
Nobody was in front of that player. Nobody marked him. This is where the U.S. defense is suspect.
Phelan covered.
And he's out of bounds. That's a bad mistake by the Irish.
Didn't want to do that. Phelan twisting and turning and trying to keep it in play. But they'll pack the scrum, and it will be a U.S. put-in. David New.
Who's the fitter team right now? That's what's going to determine this outcome. Who's got the extra gas left in the tank?
Overtime is a real possibility.
The Irish just stole the scrum from the U.S.
Against the head, you seldom see that in rugby league, and here's Hanlon now. Nice turn by Hanlon. They lose the ball, though, and the U.S. gets it back. It's all happening out there. Broussard. Now Giddings. Play the ball for the USA. Mistakes have been a big part of this game. Of course, that adds to the excitement.
There's players and bodies all over this field.
David New now switching it to Fred Grueller.
There's some high tackling. He's a very lenient referee. He's allowed to play to flow.
Now David New carries the ball for the USA. Down to their final tackle here.
A lot of tackling up high. It's pretty interesting. He's let all this go.
Gavin Baker checks in for Ireland. So there's the long kick. Not really doing the Americans much good. It's fielded by Comerford. Comerford racing toward the halfway line.
It's Doug Erickson. Good tackle, good chase there.
Erickson with Cassidy. The referee, Doug Keane, steps in as Comerford went down.
There's bodies all over the field. There's one Irishman off to the left. Can't see who that number is. Trainer Kate Curran calling for some help.
The trainers have had a lot to do today. Of course, that is the nature of rugby league.
Is that Des Foy over there? Is that number 1? I don't see number 1 on the field. Yeah, I do see number 1. That's not Ford.
All even at 12 points apiece. Ireland and the USA. Phelan Comerford trying to make progress for the Irish down the left.
Run!
Injuries, as we said, have really been a feature of today's play. Here's the latest one.
Yeah, Ryan McGuff comes in here. A couple Irishmen tackle. That's number 4. Number 4 for Ireland. That's Tom McCabe that I think took Ryan's hips right into his head, and then on the way down, I think, it's a case of probably a slight concussion.
David New knows that the job of trying to pull out victory here rests on his shoulders.
They're going to take McCabe off the other side of the field. Going to start play.
Tom McCabe limping off. There's Tom, scorer of the second try for Ireland today. And I wonder if Tom has perhaps seen the last of this game. Downstairs once again, Tim Singer.
Well, as you just mentioned, Derek, it is sort of a case of the walking wounded now, some 73 minutes into this game, a game which some players have played the entire duration of. Now, keep in mind, it's tough to gauge which team is the better conditioned team because these are all-star squads, so really even the coaches sometimes don't know about the conditioning level of some of their players. I can tell you one thing, though, that is unique to this game in Rugby League. There is here in Washington free substitution, so it could be that one or two very fresh players who make the difference here in the final minutes.
And the minutes are ticking away. We have just under 7 minutes to go. I'll leave it at 12. The Irish try to gain distance. Andrew McElwain up the middle. They play the ball to Eric Doyle.
It's a real crucial set of downs for the United States. The Irish are coming right at it with the forwards. And their forwards produce some very nice drop kick.
Drop kick by Lee Hanlon. No good. Hanlon not far away, and that was a smart play by Hanlon down to their final tackle. And in this situation, a drop kick could be the difference.
Well, it could come down to that drop kick. The advantage right now goes to Ireland. I think they have the better kickers on the field.
Hanlon getting into position here, John Morgan.
Very quick foot, very quick release. Just missed it. A little bit off to the left.
Wasn't much in that at all. Play the ball for the USA. David New again in there, working this time with
Ryan
McGuff.
Boy, has he been a Charger.
The Irish defenders have to knock him down. Now New again. Trying to fool on Fox, the Irish.
Terry Wallace still on his feet. He was down and out a couple minutes ago.
The standoff, New again. Broussard drives down on the right.
Turnover.
It's been an all too familiar tale. Used the word turnover on numerous occasions this afternoon. Gavin Baker, number 3 for Ireland.
He's had a good game.
Especially in the first half when his blistering speed posed problems for the U.S. This time the put-in is by McElhatton for Ireland. Hanlon stands off. Baker up the middle.
Terry Wallace on another tackle. Looks like he got recharged someplace.
Lee Hanlon, now Andy Burgess, determined play by Burgess into the U.S. half. Grueller's there, the two tough guys together.
And Cassidy assists on the tackle.
Burgess the loose forward. Doyle spears it out to Mick Finley. Look at Finley go. They can't stop him. It's still Finley for Ireland. And now McElhatton.
Broke a couple tackles. Preston's one of them.
Over the 20-meter line.
The Irish looking a little bit more fit here.
Lee Hanlon twisting and turning. Still Hanlon. Back to Doyle. Out the feet goes to the right. Waiting there is Mick Brown.
Oh.
Fred Grueller knocking Brown to the ground. Surely a penalty here as the pushing and shoving begins. And we don't want to see that today.
It's like a hockey game just happened here.
It surely is.
Preston coming over the top. Preston, and there's going to be some sin bin here. There's got to be some separation. But I was saying before, there's been a lot of high tackles in this game, and the referees allowed it to go, and this is the result.
Well, surely action will be taken here by Doug Keane. He was lenient earlier in a similar situation.
Well, this is just stupid. I mean, on your front of your own post in a tie game, he comes in like that. I mean, Fred, I wouldn't call that the most intelligent play in sport. I mean, midfield, you can do that. You can't do things like that in front of your own post.
Referee Doug Keane in the center of things. The two touch judges, Sean Morgan and Ross Hicks, get involved as well as they try to talk it over. I'll leave it at 12, but the Irish with a chance to go ahead.
Brought to you by the world leader in Windows graphics software, Corel.
Derek Ritt, John Morgan back at RFK Stadium. Ireland 12, the USA 12 is our score with just over 3 minutes remaining, but the Irish have been given a gift here, a penalty right in front of the posts.
They also got Fred Grueller's been sent to the sin bin. I only see 12 players in the field for the United States. 8, 11, 12. He's been sin bin probably for the rest of this game. Let's count the Irish players. 4, 8, 12, 13. So the Irish not only going to have a kick in front of the post, which looks like it's automatic. The U.S. is going to be playing a man down the rest of the way. So Fred Grueller not only commits the penalty that gives him the easy kick, he's also off the field for the rest of the game.
Phelan Comerford is the kicker for Ireland. There's Grueller, the man who the sin bin as it's turned in Rugby League for that piece of unnecessary roughness. All eyes, meanwhile, are on Phelim Comerford, the Ireland kicker. This would make it a 14-12 game. He's 2 for 3 kicking today. But this is the easiest attempt of all. Comerford, 14-12 is how it stands here in Washington, D.C.
Yeah, you make a stupid mistake like that in a dead score game in front of the post. It's like almost giving the Irish the victory here. I think Fred Gruller had a few words with his teammates after the game about that one. You just do it at midfield, you can get away with it. You can't do that in front of your post.
Shades of what happened last year when the Irish left it late, but won 24-22 after trailing in the closing stages here. They were all even, but have snatched the lead once again. They have never been behind today. So they will kick it off with Lee Hanlon. The low bouncing kick fielded by New.
Marcus Maffei. They're going to have to get some of their speed people. Just take a chance. Stop giving it to the forwards. Get it outside. Get it Prince Hill, Kevin Giddings, Lauren Broussard. That's what they got to find. There's no looking for the passes. There he goes to Lauren Broussard immediately. That's the guy with the speed burners.
Broussard hasn't quite been the factor this year that he was against Ireland 12 months ago.
This is Kevin Giddings. So Prince Hill with some good moves.
They get it down to midfield.
Their only hope is get the ball and the speed.
Just over 2 minutes to go.
A great hands there by David Bowe.
Bowe and New have had to carry a lot of the load themselves. Here's New. Cast on his left arm. Fumble. Recovered, luckily from the U.S. standpoint, by Connor O'Sullivan.
Tough for the U.S. to get the possession back within 6 here. There's Gruller taking his shirt off. He knows he's done. Looks like he was in a prize fight himself.
Almost knocked forward, meanwhile, by the USA, so it will be a scrum feed going to Ireland. And they can just let the seconds run off the clock.
Yeah, they possess the ball here for 6. It's probably going to take all the time off the clock. So the U.S. is looking for some kind of break, and then they got to turn that break into points.
Martin Keenahan. There's the clock. 1 minute and 30 seconds remaining. Ireland's up by 2.
You can't rip the ball out of these arms like some people think in football. You got to play it.
Nice play by Ireland. Floyd getting the feed from O'Sullivan.
Good tackle by Prince Hill.
They're midway inside the U.S. half of the field. McElhatton. Now Lee Hanlon.
That's nice step. He got away with it.
Hanlon's still going, though. Lee Hanlon for Ireland. Gavin Baker supports him off to his right.
Boy, he's showing some great quickness late in this game. We expected that out of him, and he's really coming up big late.
Now it comes to Burgess. Andy Burgess plunges his way.
Last tackle. They might go for a drop goal right here.
We're inside the final 1 minute. Ireland leading by 2. And here's the drop goal attempt. It's Hanlon. Didn't he get it?
Wide.
No.
Yeah, that drop goal would have given 3 points. Take that penalty advantage away from the U.S. Well, this is it. You might see some trickery here. David New might just go for the big kick. Now he goes for Bowe. I would think that they're going to go for a kick here. Get it out deep to one of their speed guys.
The USA with only 20 seconds in which to work.
Yeah, it's going to go to New. Got to go for the speedsters with a kick.
A quick pass out to the right. Maffei. New is there.
He's trying to kick it to him. Little crook kick, catch it in the air. Nope, didn't work.
That might be the USA's last chance. It's Floyd. Twisting and turning for Ireland. Gets it into a good position. The seconds winding down. It's all over. And for the second year in a row.
No, he didn't call it. Excuse me, he called the penalty.
Check that. Hold that thought, John Morgan. Apparently the final whistle was not sounded by referee Doug Keane.
Well, the field clock's run out. Of course, the referee controls the clock on the field. This is injury time right here. We're into injury time is what the last part of it is. And they say it's never over till it's over, but if I could put a bet in right now, I think it's over.
A high kick and just gets it over the line. That's a beautiful positional kick from the Irish point of view by Comerford. And they have the ball now, 6 more inside the 10-meter line. Maybe they can finish it off here. Darren Clark goes down. This time it's official. The Irish are victorious for the second year in a row.
The last 3 internationals for the U.S., they lost to Russia 28-26. Now they've lost twice to Ireland 24-22 last year. This game here 14-12. They just can't get over that edge.
Ireland was never behind. And in the end, they had enough to see them through. We'll return with our post-game activities in a moment. Prime's coverage of Rugby League is being brought to you by Corel WordPerfect, the best in word processing. Much cause for Irish celebration here at RFK Stadium. 14-12 our final, and one of the big reasons for Ireland's success, without question, the place-kicking of Phelim Comerford. He's with Tim Singer.
Well, there's no doubt about that, Derek. 14-12, NFL fans would know that'd be the difference of a couple of extra points, and it was your foot that really made the difference, Phelim.
Thanks, Tim.
Nice job out here. Talk about that last couple of minutes of what unfolded leading to the game-winning kick.
That's one of those things. It's just a blank or a blur at the moment. It's the hardest thing to do, I think, underneath the sticks. Just look, listen to all that crowd. You got to cut it out and just hit it.
How about this American team? You guys got the big jump early. Maybe thought a rout was in the process, and they hung tough.
No, they're a good side. You can't say things like that. Rugby League's game of 80 minutes. They held in there. We thought maybe they'd tire a little bit, but no, they kept coming and coming and coming. Good, hard, physical game, the way Rugby League should be played. And they're developing really strongly as a nation, just like we are.
Just as important, how was your stay here in the USA?
Yeah, can't fault the USA, man. It's a great place to come, great stadium to play in, and the crowd, hope they enjoy the game.
Well, go celebrate. I understand you've got some Irish crowd over there. Okay, Phelim, and let's go right back up to you.
All right, Tim, here was the kick that ultimately decided the game, John Morgan.
Little chip shot, little 2-foot putt. The USA missed a couple of those in the game, and that was the difference. The Irish made the kicks, the United States didn't.
Even in Rugby League, you can sometimes fall victim to the yips, but Phelim Comerford not in that category today. Successful 3 times out of 4 as a place kicker. Back downstairs we go to Tim Singer, who's with the USA's Doug Erickson. Tim?
Okay, thanks very much, Derek. Doug, you had one of the 2 tries for the USA today. Rougher game than you thought? Did things go smoother? Your assessment?
Not rougher than we thought. I think that, they were a pretty strong side, but we were a little bigger in the forwards. We were able to beat them around a little. Did it go as smooth as I thought? Definitely not. I think we made too many mistakes, let the ball go when we needed to hold on to it, and possession wins games, and they had more possession than we did.
Second year in a row, the Irish have won this game by 2 points. What bright spot can you take away from Washington?
It's hard to find one when you lose, but I'd say that we just keep playing better Rugby League every year, and then one of these times we're going to break through and beat a team.
Okay, nice job. Thanks for spending some time with us. And that was Doug Erickson. Now, keep in mind, he says they've got to take some lessons away from this. It's still a long season ahead, a full schedule for the American Patriots on the Rugby League scene. Derek?
Yes, Tim, it's all part of the learning process for the American players. There's Fred Grueller, the man who was partially responsible in the end for conceding the penalty that decided things. Here's how it happened, John Morgan.
Well, if Fred doesn't know, in front of the post, middle of the field, whatever, he just goes out and plays like this. And I said earlier in the game, if he could have a chance to foul out, he would. And here, Fred just got caught with the high tackle in front of the post. A little unfortunate for him that it was to determine the outcome of this game, but you just can't do that in front of your post, and that's why the Irish have won 14-12.
Grueller was sent to the sin bin for the offense, but he certainly played his part in other areas of the game. Once again, our final score here at RFK Stadium, Ireland 14 and the USA 12. Production assistance today provided by Lulu's New Orleans Cafe, Washington's only authentic New Orleans restaurant and nightclub. Accommodations provided by Embassy Square Suites, a Summerfield Suite hotel located in downtown Washington. And for Tim Singer and John Morgan, this is Derek Ray saying so.